Hello, Jason Ryer here from Chiang Mai, Thailand. I want to give you one quick tip for weight loss and tell you about the weight loss course. It's actually the Fasting for Weight Loss course that's coming up on January 10th. It's coming up soon, so I'm going to tell you one quick tip, but I want to tell you a story behind that first. About my own personal story of I gave some advice around losing weight for the holidays and specifically for Thanksgiving. So it was basically a strategy for being able to still lose weight during Thanksgiving because in the United States we have a giant feast, and I know for me it's tradition to really just stuff myself full of food until I can't move anymore, and then watch football, maybe play some games, eat some more food, but it's kind of like an all-day thing of eating all day long. So the one tip that I gave, which I think is really good advice, I was going to say, well, you can eat this food and that food and kind of pick apart which foods are better. But then I thought, well, of course, the simplest solution is not eating, is fasting. And that's something that I did. So I recommended, well, you can limit the amount of time you eat on Thanksgiving Day, right? So I did that, and I think I started eating about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I didn't really put a cap on it, so that's where I wasn't really clear. And I ended up eating from 3 until, I don't know, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. So it was a good intention, but sometimes these plans fall apart, right, when you don't stick to them. And so I kind of went off the rails for myself and got back to my ways of seafood diet. I see it, I eat it, anything and everything. And I was eating foods that I don't usually eat. And then we had a bunch of leftovers, so that spilled over into the next few days of me eating. I remember a friend made a sweet potato casserole, which was good, but it was super, super sweet. So it was sweet potatoes that were sweet already, with sugar, marshmallows on top. It was good, but it was left over, and I was like, okay, I'll just throw this out. But then I kept it, and I have this mentality, and this is one of my issues that I struggle with still, is with that seafood diet. See it, I eat it, anything and everything, is also not wasting food. So if I have food, I feel like I have to eat it or I'm wasting it. It's kind of a crazy idea that I have. So this sweet potato casserole, I ended up finishing it off. And one day I remember eating it, and I'm almost done, but then I was stuffed. I wasn't even hungry, but I was just eating it with this idea like, I don't want it to go to waste. So just a strange idea. And so the question then becomes is, yeah, fasting is a great tip, but then what if you fall off the rails? And what if things don't go so well? And I think maybe you can relate during the holidays. So it's kind of Thanksgiving spills over into Christmas, and I find I'm eating more than I usually do. I'm eating foods I don't usually eat. So I usually don't eat pizza, for example, and I had pizza the other night. There's a place nearby here, has delicious pizza. So on Christmas Day, we went there and ate pizza. So what do you do? How do you get back on track? And so this is the question. And this is where fasting comes back in again, and having a plan and sticking to that plan. And so that's where I can always fall back on. So I know if I get off track, I can come back to my fasting schedule, right? And so for me, that's generally stopping eating around 6 p.m., right? So that kind of keeps me on track. So that's my one simple rule that I can come back to, is just, okay, it's 6 p.m., it's time to finish up, and then I'll wait until the next day. So that's just one simple tip, one simple way to keep the weight down. And I know that's challenging, not just with the holidays, but with the lockdown, the quarantine. You know, a lot of people are gaining what they call the quarantine 15 pounds of weight. In the lockdown, you probably eat, I know I've talked to other people, they're eating more, drinking more alcohol. So yeah, how do you get that in check? And it's coming back to what works. And what works is fasting. And that leads me to the Fasting for Weight Loss course, which I mentioned before is starting on January 10th. It lasts for 28 days, for 4 weeks. You go in it with a group of students, a group of peers. And so you share what you eat, when you eat. You get points for doing the work, for doing the lessons, watching the videos. Ton of information. There's a ton of knowledge in there. So the students come out of it not just losing the weight, but getting all the detox benefits, feeling great, and learning a lot. So having these tools, this knowledge that serves them well going on in the future. So yeah, it is really a life transforming program for a lot of people. There is a money back guarantee. So so yeah, check it out. So check out the course. I think now is the time. It's a good time to get back on track. I'm actually looking forward to it myself. I often participate in these, so I'm not just a teacher, but I'm actually a fellow student along the way. And I've gone through this course many times now, and I always learn more and more as I go through it because there's so much information, so much good information and knowledge that I can use to help me with my eating habits. So where do you go for this? It's at zenstrength.fitness slash fasting dash program. Zenstrength.fitness slash fasting dash program. I'll share the link on the IGTV and share it below. So that's it. If you have any questions about fasting, about the course, let me know. Reach out. I wish you the best. Thank you.